Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. I welcome you to another expose that will leave you stunned and concerned. Now, recent raids on music mogul Sean Combs aka Diddy's homes uncovered a staggering 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Now, sparking widespread outrage and alarm as investigators delve deeper, disturbing questions arise. What purpose did these massive quantities serve? And was it linked to human trafficking or exploitation? Of course it was. Now, today we gather perspectives from various individuals, each shedding light on this unsettling discovery. From some analyzing potential evidence to others demanding justice, we will unravel the implications of this disturbing find, exploring the severity of human trafficking in the entertainment industry, Diddy's controversial past and present, and the role of law enforcement in tackling these heinous crimes. So join me as we take a look into the dark truth surrounding Diddy's confiscated baby oil and lubricant. Take a look at the videos. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry, everybody, but mentally, I'm still stuck here. 1,000 bottles of baby oil, that's just inconceivable for me. My mind literally cannot comprehend that. I want you to close your eyes and try to visualize 1,000 bottles of baby oil all in the same place. What does that look like? Are you not disgusted? They said they found them when they raided the houses, so I'm wondering, were all 1,000 bottles all in the same house, or were they like distributed amongst the houses? And also, who counted all these bottles? And did they actually count 1,000 bottles exactly? Or was it like 952 and they just rounded it up? You could probably fill up a whole garage with 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like every square inch of that floor would be covered. What do you even do with 1,000 bottles of baby oil? They said some of those freak-offs would last for days at a time. But I feel like one bottle of baby oil could last 12 people at least 2 weeks. Because at this point, we're just having oil fights. And were there carpets in the house? Because if so, those carpets are ruined. You can try to lay down some towels, but it's just going to seep through. You're going to have to lay down some ripped up garbage bags and some deflated air mattresses. And I know it's handprints on the walls. What part of your body needs to be that lubricated?
All right, dude. What the flip? 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube were confiscated from Diddy's crowd. There's no defending it. Why would you need that much? I'm just speechless. But before we get to the video, once again, you lot remember, delivery voucher link in bio. But this is insane work. What reason do you obtain that? What are you going to tell the jury when they said, yeah, we found 1,000 bottles of lube in your drum, yeah? All these allegations are coming out. It's all adding up. You know what I'm saying? You think they're going to say, oh, that's an innocent man for sure. Guilty as charged, big man. That is insane. 1,000 bottles, bro. I don't think you lot are deep in how much that. He was planning for times like this. He had lube and that stacked up for rainy days, bro. In case he ever went brass or anything, at least he can still do them. That's the way his brain works, innit? But he's been moving mad. 1,000 bottles of oil and lube. That's insane. I don't know if you lot can see at the bottom, he said the baby oil and lubricant, these were items allegedly used in freak-offs. What the hell is a freak-off? I actually don't want to know. Don't tell me. Man said freak-offs. He's on this batty thing. Yeah, you lot, I'm not involved. And once again, you lot, delivery voucher link.
Yo, I know we all knew it was bad. Like, we all knew Diddy's day was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was inevitable. But 1,000 bottles of baby oil? I want y'all to throw the key. I want y'all to take the key and put 1,000 bottles of Yo, I want him underneath the basement of the jail. What?
Did you hear about Diddy? I don't think we can call him Diddy anymore. I think we have to call him He Did. Sean Johnson & Johnson over here was caught with 1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil. I don't know why that's an important detail, but that's a lot. That's a lot of bottles. We were all wondering like, oh, what's taking so long? What happened with this story? Because he popped up, we were all super interested, it was front page news, and then he disappeared to that very specific cabana that looked oh so familiar in the past. Fast forward, and they've got him on a couple things, it turns out. I guess he got in trouble for trafficking, no hyphen, and racket earring, no tennis. It seems like people who get uber wealthy and famous like run out of normal things to do and then just go off into this weird section. Like they have to go to an island to do the things that they want to do. And if not, they're under some weird umbrella of events like this. Like, do you just run out of stuff to do? You got so famous, you tried all the things, and you're like, this is where I'm gonna spend my time. Can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy.
This man put up a $50 million bond. $50 million bond. And the judge still said, you're denied. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're going to jail. You finna be in chains. Out of all the news today, I think I'm still stuck on this $50 million bond, because if you look at the fact that in California, the average bail amount for murder is $2 million and your bond amount is 10% of that, right? So that's $200,000. And you can pay your bond by putting up your house, putting up your assets, whatever the case may be. But this man paid off an $18 million home. And the judge still said, nah, you gonna sit in jail. I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't care what you have. I don't care what your life looks like. I don't other people have. I really don't. Because what did you do to get it? How did you end up in the position that you're in? Because the fact of the matter is, if you did something dirty to get where you are, you will have to pay the debt of your transgressions. You will have to pay it in full. It might not be on this side. It might be on the other side, but you will never escape the return on the investment that you made to get where you are. And the return on your investment might be jail. I'm just so shook. Like, you put up a $50 million bond and they said, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Let's have an adult conversation. I'm gonna ask a serious question. Who did he piss off? What did he finally do for people to take action? I am 26 years old, and growing up within the Black community and growing up with Black media and Black family members and Black friends, the conversation about Diddy has always been bad. It has always been bad. It's a lot of like the R. Kelly situation. If you watch my R. Kelly video, I say the same exact thing. Because the shit that they're doing, and for how long they were doing it, and for how many people have corroborating stories, eyewitness testimonies and accounts, nothing ever happened. Nothing was ever done. So who did he piss off? What happened behind the scenes? Is he Icarus? Did he fly too close to the sun? Was he trying to get into rooms where even he wasn't even allowed to get into? What really happened? My point being is, because just like R. Kelly, when you hear that they got arrested, your first reaction is not, wow, they got arrested. It's, they really got arrested? Like, they actually got caught for the shit that everybody knew that they were doing? Like, despite the overwhelming amount of evidence? And that's not even taking in consideration all the bedroom stuff. Stuff that if you read the reports as to what they're charging him with, I don't even think this video would be able to stay up. Like, it is some freaky shit. I mean, I think it was like 11 gallons of baby oil they found in his house. But even the shit that he was doing with Bad Boy and all the shit that was going down in the 90s, the idea of what happened with Biggie and Diddy being behind that, that's like a very reasonable argument to be made. Like, a lot of people can make a really strong argument that he was behind a lot of it. Now, of course, just for the sake of legality, these are only just assumptions, right? We can't say for sure until we see what's going to happen with court, which he is going to be doing. He's going to be doing a trial because he declared not guilty. So he's gonna go for it. But I can't help but think there had to have been something going on. He had to piss off somebody, or somebody got tired of him, or something. Because there has been so much going on for so long, my entire life. These are stories, and this is a reputation he's had my entire life, longer than I've even been alive. And now something's starting to happen. It just seems a little weird.
Diddy is going to jail. Quite some time ago, I talked about Puff Daddy. I talked about Homeland Security raiding his residence. When I talked about this, I made it clear that when Homeland Security comes after you, there's going to be charges. When we talked about the charges, as of today, he has been arrested, and this is his indictment. A couple of things that are interesting. Once, they got all of his nicknames listed on the indictment. Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, PD, and Love. He has charged with racketeering. What is racketeering? The simplest way to describe it is racketeering is like some mob shit. It's literally saying that you have a legal organization, but what the government says is your legal organization is doing illegal shit and trying to hide it. And that's what they're saying about Puff Daddy, that you have an organization, bad boy, take that. And they're all engaged in doing illegal stuff to promote the overreaching goals of the enterprise, which is you, Diddy. I expect as far as that racketeering count, they're going to be naming a bunch of other people, and all those people will eventually cooperate and snitch on Diddy going down. Number two, which I thought was very interesting in talking about the massive indictment, is a couple of things. They talk about the fact in this enterprise, they call it freak-offs. They mention freak-offs throughout the point in the indictment. They say after freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from physical exertion and drug use. Damn. And then number two in the indictment, which I thought was absolutely interesting, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. I don't think they mentioned that shit to be nice. They said, Diddy, you in trouble. Then they also charged him with sex trafficking, which we already talked about. And they also charged him with basically transporting women across county lines to engage in prostitution. So, Diddy's going to jail. We asked what is the difference between federal court prosecution and state court prosecution. Federal court prosecution, what ends up happening, the easiest way I describe it is the feds do the work before they arrest an individual usually. So they build their case, so they have a very large case, a good case against the person that they're going after. They spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy going after somebody. State court cases, a lot of time they do the research and the work after they've already arrested somebody. Translation, if somebody comes to somebody and says, that guy hit me, that guy stole from me, he gets arrested right then and there, and then they start looking into it. Federal government, they take their time, energy, and effort, and that's what they're doing against Diddy. Diddy's going to jail. So when somebody asks me what do I think is likely to happen when the federal government usually comes after you, your ass is in trouble.
Now, Diddy's indictment is showing all the criminal charges that led to his arrest. So let's jump into Diddy's indictment and do a deep dive on everything that is being charged with and the evidence that is being used against him. Now, Diddy's charges are federal, so it's the United States of America versus Diddy, and the grand jury charges are count one of racketeering of conspiracy. For decades, the defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his physical desires, to protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. Now, Diddy relied on the employees' resources and influence of his multi-faced business empire that he let in controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in other crimes such as trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, rivalry, and obstruction of justice. Now, the defendant engaged in persistent and persuasive patterns of abuse towards women and other individuals. Now, this abuse at times was verbal, emotional, physical, and cool. Now, Diddy manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of activities with male workers. Diddy and others at his discretion made arrangements for women and these workers to fly to Diddy's locations. Now, he ensured participation from these women by distributing narcotics to them, controlling their careers, leveraging their financial support, and threatening to cut them off using intimidation and violence. Now, physical abuse towards women has been well known about Diddy, and from 2009 to continuing years, Diddy has assaulted women by, among other things, such as striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects, and kicking them. Now, he uses business, including his employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and trafficking. Now, these employees included security staff, household staff, personal assistants, high-breaking supervisors, and other close associates attached to Combs. From 2008 to the present time of this indictment, the defendant and others known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization. Now, the members and associates of the Combs enterprise attempted to engage in other activities such as trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purpose of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics, kidnapping, and a lot of other things. Now, Diddy's enterprise was an ongoing organization whose members functioned as a continuing unit for the common purpose of achieving objectives of the Combs enterprise. His enterprise was engaged in and its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. Now, the purpose of his enterprise was to operate a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industry, including other things such as record labels, recording studios, and apparel line alcoholic business. a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. Now, all this is after legal documents did surface detailing serious allegations against American rapper Sean Diddy Combs. Now, the indictment has accused the music mogul of maintaining a system of coercion, abuse, and violence. The report stated that 1,000 bottles of baby oil were also found at his residence. Now, the allegations are connected to so-called freak-off events, where illegal substances and abusive behaviors were reportedly part of the operations. Now, the indictment revealed that in March 2024, during searches of Combs properties in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized a range of disturbing materials. Now, these included various narcotics and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, allegedly used during the freak-off events. Now, the nature of these materials pointed to the scale of abuse, and authorities are now closely investigating their role in Combs' alleged criminal activities. The indictment further claimed that Combs exercised control over his victims through a combination of physical violence, false promises of career advancement, and manipulation of financial resources. Victims were reportedly coerced using methods such as surveillance of their movements, control over their medical records, and dominance over their housing situations. Combs allegedly supplied controlled substances to maintain this grip over his victims. Now, the victims of these freak-off events reportedly suffered injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Despite the serious nature of these incidents, the indictment noted that several individuals who witnessed the alleged abuse refrained from intervening. They were reportedly threatened with acts of violence, financial ruin, or reputational damage whenever Combs' authority was at risk. Now, adding further gravity to the case, the allegations extended beyond coercion and abuse to include kidnapping and arson, painting a picture of a criminal enterprise operating with impunity under Combs' control. Now, a New York Post report said a New York City hotel once had to charge Diddy extra because he destroyed and stained couch and sheets. It was like they had a party. Now, the captured oil stains Post quoted a source as saying, in the room, there was stains on the couches with body oils, and the hotel needed to charge him for extra cleaning. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, my viewers, have to say? Share your thoughts, your views, your contributions in the comment section. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another video.